Wait, I think one knot will be solid. It's oh, we're live?
We're live. What's up, everybody? This is Gunbird 2. One of the later Psycho games. Came out like between Strikers 2, Strikers 3. Part of the Gunbird series, you play like as the couple of really cool characters, fast bullets, couple of short stages. If you know the Psycho formula, you kind of know like short burst, high energetic, high bullet speeds. I think are you gonna do a bit of scoring? I didn't ask you beforehand.
Maybe I'll do a little bit.
Try for medals.
I'm gonna do maybe a little bit of medals when it's practical. But if it jeopardizes my one knot, I'll try to avoid doing the crazy stuff.
Yeah, survival comes first, but we are gonna see maybe during some of the easier stage or during like more relaxed time, we're gonna see you trying to go for like coins and stuff like that, right? Some gem hits too.
Yeah.
We'll explain what those are as we get started.
So hi guys, I'm Golden, and then I guess I'll start now.
Get it going. Right. We're playing as Marion. Well, okay, for anybody who's familiar with like playing the game on main or from like console stuff like that, we can tell he's going by the random stage order. This is a thing in pretty much all of Psycho's games, where the first couple of stages are random, or like randomly selected between like a poll. Like there's 4 possibilities, and we're gonna get 3 of those selected randomly for. And this one. Well, it's still stage 1-1, so the rank is kind of low. Enemies are not that aggressive yet, but some of the other ones are going to get a bit tougher. Golden is playing as Marion? I actually don't know how to say it, but it's the little witch character, kind of like an all-rounder, I think it would be fair to say. She doesn't excel in like damage from afar, from really close. From really close, it's pretty good. In this game, you have a melee attack. It uses a bit of your charge when you get into that a bit later. Like all around, just a good character. Like no glaring weaknesses, but also nothing that would make anyone be like, oh, it's just really overpowered. But you got some nice homing shots, a 3-way, so you got good coverage for what it's worth. Already, this is the first boss. Like before I even could finish like the introduction to the game, you get a quick stage, quick boss. Staple of all Psycho bosses, lots of like compartments to destroy, multiple phases. You go from like part to part, left and right the whole time, making sure like you dismantle everything as much as possible. And kind of another trope is like turning it like a normal like vehicle or military like unit into like an insane robot Gundam, whatever. What you see Golden using right there was the melee in this game. I think it was introduced in this game, not in any of the other big Sega games who came before. You can do a short ranged attack right in front of you, and it uses like a fourth of your meter in the bar. If you look at the bottom left right now, you can see it says like level 2. And there's like different charges for it. Like you've got the green bar, the yellow bar, and so he's filling up the red bar right now. Using a melee just is like, I don't know, like a quarter, like enough to use for level 1. And if you hold the button for the attack, you can do like a special attack. That I think in Marion's case, I think you just shoot like some bullets somewhere to home in on enemies. Thinking maybe of Tavia's actually, but that's kind of a different attack. But in this game, you really want to make sure to use as many melees as possible. They're strong. They don't use that much charge. They're pretty much like a perfect way to do quick damage to enemies, which is really important. You want to like kill enemies before they become an issue, before they come out in droves. Especially big ones can be a big issue if you leave them on screen for a long time. This is one of those sections where you can pick up the coins when they're kind of like shimmering, or they're glowing like when they're right facing the camera, and they'll give more points the closer they are to like the glimmer animation. And chaining them, you can see like there's a little counter below his score right now. It just says like 0-3. That's your point count, like metal chain. I think metal chain is the best way to say it, like point chain. Either way, he's got like 4 of them, or 3. It displays those 3. He's got 4 of them in a row at the max value, and picking them up more consistently just gives more and more points, basically. Like every one substantially is like 4,000 points. It's a big difference. They are a bit hard to time, but the hardest part is like lining up the stage so that you have the time to like zoom in and out of coins to get them nicely picked up. Again, with this boss, like you have to kind of shoot the arms out, or at least it's how I like to do it. It's like kind of destroy the boss part by part. And already, I used to play this boss always as the first stage, and you can tell just how much harder things get as soon as we get even to like the second stage. And I'm curious to see what the last one's going to be here. But overall, 1-2, not that difficult. Got through it alright, even though you did power down, right?
Yeah.
In this game, if you get hit by enemies or flying enemies, you don't immediately die like you would in any other shmup. You lose like a power, which I mean is definitely better than just dying straight up. But the game can be a bit stingy sometimes with like when it decides like it wants to give you another power up or not. So you can just get stuck for large portions of like stages without getting another power up for a while.
And Marion
really do about it.
Yeah, and Marion can have issues with firepower far away, so it can be a real issue if you're like not a max power.
Are you gonna go for the gem head?
Oh no.
Okay, I was gonna explain something else if you'd seen it. In certain parts of the stage, if you hover over like a certain object or a certain position, you spawn like an extra scoring like unit. Basically, it just drops like gems and it gives you points. We might see them later during like a stage where we can basically do it, more control over like the enemies. It's just fun to show off. He got one early in the last stage, but I was talking about some other like stuff, so I forgot to bring it up. This is the last of the random stages, 1-3, and this boss is also, I don't think he's like kind of like a no-joke for like a loop 1 boss that you just get like right at the beginning. He can get pretty overwhelming, I think, in the last phase too if you don't set up right here. These 2 cannons, like you can just destroy one of them with the melee. It's really important not to like give the boss like too much space here. You want to kill stuff as soon as it spawns, like arms here. You do like 1 attack and then you go blam with the melee. Just destroy those parts. Deals way more damage than shooting normal. Getting up close to enemies in this game is hugely rewarding. Not just for the point blank damage, but also, like I said, for just hitting them with your melee. Now we're coming up to the first of the non-random stages, 1-4. This one will always be here. From now on, the order is set the same way it would be in any other shmup. Kind of like the large series, things like these, like bigger mechs, like everything I said before, like it still counts here. Like as soon as you get to see a big enemy, you just want to go up close to it, like it's in its face. Oh, that's a really fun gem head to get here. If you sit in the middle of the stage when there's like an iceberg in the middle and you shoot it, you spawn it, and you can see he keeps shooting like a little thing that spawned. It drops gems if you hit it, and the last one will be a blue gem that's worth 4,000 points if you've shot it enough times. Okay, this boss is a bit like tricky to describe how to do. There's going to be these like doors on the left and right side, and if you shoot them, or if you destroy them I should say, like a turret gets released that's like right above where the doors are, and so you want to time destroying the doors so you can more easily just kablam hit them without having to go back down. And they shoot like a barrage of like bullets and just other really annoying stuff. You don't want to deal with those. You can do this the really easy way, which is to time it out. I think it's like a minute, maybe at most a minute and a half. Well, you have to like wait for the phase to time out and you don't have to do any of that. And I used to do that for the Loop 2 version of this game, which is quite a bit harder. But for the 1 Loop version, you can just like go up, destroy the doors, go up, destroy the doors.
Now we're getting to the second phase. This is just like tapping, making sure you don't get hit, and kill the boss here before this attack gets too crazy. Yeah. That can get really hard if you let that live. On 5, again, two big mech walkers are going to come on screen. You want to destroy those like as soon as you can, because the pattern that they shoot is so limiting in like where you can go and where you can stay safe. This is it's okay, even though it's Golden told me he's kind of out of practice for the game. He used to be really good at chaining these coins here, and this part, like with all the like smaller turrets that just keep shooting you, this is like the hell part. Like even if you're really good at the game, you usually drop your coin chain here. So the fact that he even got like a few of them chained there, I think is quite impressive. Again, he like destroy the arm bit by bit. After the arms are destroyed, this boss is kind of, or this mid-boss is a bit easy, because the real boss coming up right here is arguably, I think it's my hardest boss, like for both loops, to be honest. It's a huge spike in difficulty compared to the stage, compared to the last boss. A lot of tapping for the first phases, but especially as the patterns like kind of like cross over in one another. If you kill one of the turrets like too quickly, its behavior changes and it gets really difficult when they start overlapping. You just really don't want that. This pattern is fucking hell. So it's a bit of a style right here, like tap left. Oh, okay, Golden uses a slightly different setup than I use, but still, it's really precise, and you kind of have to eyeball it too. Unless you're really good at just like, oh, he's gonna do it again. Oh, okay, Marion's damage apparently is a bit lower than the character I used to play, because I would never see the second version of that attack.
Yeah, low firepower.
You have to have the backup time. Yeah, low power, and yeah. But he handled it really well. He's also going to get an extend here at 600,000 points. There's only one extend in the game, and in most sectors, to be fair. And it's just like a score extend at 600,000. These flowers, also a huge pain in the ass. This third one in the middle is just like, I mean... Oh, you destroyed before he even shoots, okay. That's fair. It's like one of those patterns that's so much harder than the other ones that it almost feels fun that it's in the same stage as like the other things. There's gonna be these spots right here. Usually like a fan favorite to try to chain these, because you can kind of pick up two of them at the time by tapping left and right, but Golden's going for the gem head first and foremost, making sure these spots do not like stay alive for too long, because when those patterns overlap with the like, I don't know what these are, like sentry birds, whatever. Like if they start overlapping, it can get really hard. You want to shoot like left and right on the stage. Like give yourself as much opening as possible. I was gonna say this part's kind of hard too, because there's 4 pillars here, as you can see, and it's random which to get picked. And I think the one he got first is probably one of the harder parts to get. This, like I don't know, mini boss. You can kill it pretty quickly with a melee at the beginning, but I think Golden wants to save up some charge for the boss here, because you're going to want to take out one of the front parts of the boss as soon as it happens. It's right after these enemies. It's right after this part. So you need to have some charge ready.
Yeah, some charge.
Yeah. On the sides here, I think you actually do it differently than I do. Okay, you can kill the little bots on the side. Okay, now you got it. You can kill one of those like too quickly, and or not too quickly. You want to kill it quickly, because otherwise the pattern that's gonna overlap is just way harder. If you kill one though, it chills out considerably more. Like you can kind of like dodge this pattern pretty. I would say pretty easily. I don't think like most people who play Shmups often would have much trouble with this. This second phase though can get pretty dicey. Here you want to tap left twice. Dodge. Some lasers. A lot of just tapping here, making sure you don't get in the way. Same for this pattern, just like move slowly. It's just a long, like one really long string of attack. Just like keep going at it, you'll be fine. And it's definitely good that you killed the boss right there, because if it kept on going on for longer, that would have been
would have made it quite a bit harder. Final stage. I want to say the stage portion for this is not like too hard, but I also don't want to jinx it by saying that, so I'm gonna retract my statement. If you want to, if anybody ever wants to like have a laugh, the beginning part here, if you want to see some crazy coin chaining, look up like a high-scoring replay of this game with these coins. It's so messy, but also so cool to see how people found like creative solutions to deal with that part specifically. I hope I'm still synced. My feed is kind of lagging. Are you about to go to the mid-boss on stage 8?
Yeah.
Okay, then I'm still like mostly in sync. This mid-boss, in my opinion, not to be anticlimactic, harder than the real final boss. These orbs that it keeps spawning, you have to kind of web between the attacks like constantly. But you kind of like took like quick care of the first part by using like a really well timed nail. This one's just tapping, not too hard. That orb will just like keep spewing and spewing unless you kill it. Very good that you just like took them out that quickly. There's gonna be like these like stone thingies here. Okay, you have a pretty like unique solution for this as well. You can kind of like tap along with these and try to like stay underneath to deal like firepower damage killing them, but maybe with Marion it's a bit trickier. Oh. And low power too for the boss, that kind of sucks. Because you're not gonna get that power up. Actually, they might drop it. They don't.
They drop power-ups, yeah.
Yeah, okay, they're power-ups, okay. So you'll have like full power for the final boss for what it's worth. It's a pretty famous safe spot here too for this mini boss. There's one like in the middle, like below where one of the orbs is, this one right there. This one, you can kind of sit in multiple positions and just be totally fine, despite how like intimidating the attack is. The final boss, I hope you can fill me in. This is like the mascot for like some pharmaceutical company.
Yeah, Saito Pharmaceuticals or whatever it's called.
It's
in
something like that, basically.
Yes.
Like it drops like the medicine like pills as like an attack. I think one of the other like the frogs that show up here, I think they might be part of like the company mascot as well. If you really want to, you can learn this face pretty easily, I want to say, like how to keep tapping it, and it's worth a lot of points. Like these pills are worth like 2,000 or 3,000. The frogs are worth 10k each, and you can milk it for like 3 rounds, I want to say. I think 3 somehow.
Yeah, before the final boss blows up and kills you, like all other bosses.
Yeah. They got very mean. So like, if you timed out a boss, they didn't just disappear. They usually spewed an attack that's pretty much guaranteed to kill you if you aren't prepared for it. Because this is loop 2.
Yes.
Huge. Okay, I'll fill in. So the big difference here, okay, bolts are faster. Rank is effectively always maxed if I remember correctly. But more importantly, flying enemies will drop like revenge bullets when they die. Small enemies do like the small pallets, big ones will do like the 4-way or 5-way spread that just like aim directly at you. Like an example of one being the one that just killed him. They are really mean, and this is like where like routing is quintessential to like making it anywhere. Like even if like Golden's like underpowered here and has to bomb through, make it through it. Like even then, this is still would not be easy if you feel like at full power. Yeah, it just always stays pretty difficult. The one upside of this game, I want to say, though, is in other Psycho games, they keep having like little small like minions that spawn during the boss fights, but that doesn't happen in this game. So if you can just like learn all the patterns, as daunting as they like look, because they do look pretty intimidating, if you learn how the boss works, you're pretty much like you're good to go. Like, I don't want to say they're free, but they are not that difficult, comparatively speaking. Like compared to the stages, especially. with some exceptions. The stage 2-5 boss is 2-6 is also really hard. I don't know, a lot of things are very hard in this game. I think it's fair to say that, like, out of all Psycho 2 alls, this is easily one of the hardest, I want to say. Also, this stage is kind of notorious because it's not in the default stage order like main players get if they hard reset. So I'm actually quite unfamiliar with how the routing of this works, but I've seen enough, like, you know, super players and Japanese players play this, who just do all the stages, and it gets pretty dicey, especially near the end with, like, all the cacti turrets. I don't know what we call them.
Alright, so that's game over. But let's continue on to show you the gnarliness.
Oh, I see. Yeah, this part, okay, yeah, something weird about, like, the aiming works in games like this. They don't aim exactly for where you, like, your character ship and stuff is. It's kind of around, like, whatever, like, the angle matches up with. So even if you feel like you're kind of tapping and streaming the bolts along, sometimes you'll just get that, like, sniped, like, from pretty close by, or like a turret shoots from an angle that you didn't see coming. It can be really brutal. And okay, one of the things Golden just did earlier is like not shooting enemies strategically, especially flying enemies, out of fear that they're gonna shoot like right back at you in your face. That's a very important skill. It's not only like to know when to be really aggressive and kill all the enemies as quickly as possible, but also to know when not to shoot, when to give yourself, when you just, like, again, running into enemies does not kill you, it just lowers your power, which it's still really bad, to be clear, but it's much preferable over losing a life. Especially if you've rounded in such a way where you know you can make up for it later. That's really brutal. I'm kind of stunned at some of the patterns on this boss specifically, because I never really fight it.
Default stage order.
Yeah. We got it good. We got it really good as main players sometimes. But then, you know, on the flip side, you go to like a Japanese arcade, and you're just gonna have to play with whatever the game throws at you. Like, I could not go to like the arcade you mentioned in our conversation earlier, like at Hay, and just like start like showing up and getting players. Like, it'd be quite difficult. I'm getting a bit quiet myself because I'm kind of invested in seeing like how, as Mario, you can even get through these stages like easily. I used to play as a character. There's a secret character in this game called Aim, where if you put a secret code in like the surface menu and then like hold the direction, I think it's either up or down, and then press start at your start of your credit. That's how you can select the character. That one's really popular. There's also another one that's called Tafia, which has she has a melee that cancels bullets, which you can imagine just how much like options that gives you when routing the game, right? Like, you just see like one attack you really don't like, and you just go like right in front of you. So it requires timing, definitely, because you're waiting for the bullets to hit you in the face. So you can't rely on it too much. But if you plan like some parts out and get the timing down, it opens up a lot of options. And Mario doesn't really have the easy, like super high speeds, bullet canceling abilities. Like, again, she's not like there's not a bad character like in the least, but there's also nothing that's like, oh shit, you can really abuse this and like get through some sections like really easily. Like, there's nothing in her kit that makes that possible. You have to learn everything. Like, every hard section, every fight is gonna last for like a little bit longer than you might be used to if you're playing like certain characters with like really high damage.
In the real
really
run,
fucking tough. Those are really tough.
in the real run, I probably need to preserve as much charge as possible to kill those zeppelins.
Yes. Also, a weird thing with this game, I don't know if it like I don't know if they have like armor when they spawn in, but some enemies in this game, like especially large enemies, if you use like a high like damage attack immediately and hit them like straight up, they sometimes don't die. But if you wait for just a second, like after they've spawned and then use it, that will kill them. And you don't even have to shoot in the meantime. Like it's not like the small like shots that you deal like make a difference. It really is just like you wait a bit, you use the attack, and that's what opens up the insta kill. I don't know why. It's really annoying. I never like played it, but you just have to get used to it. Like know the timing for when you have to use your attacks, when it's safe to go up, when it's safe to like engage, and if you do that, you'll still be fine. So there you got to see like a good example of like killing the tombstone door before it's really like its turn, before you can go up and kill the sentry. Like it just floods the screen. I think this like bird attack, I think this one is one of the few ones that is like easier in the second loop than the first one, because patterns overlap slightly less with each other because they're faster. One of the very rare examples where I think a boss is easier in the second loop than it is in the first one. This is also like a hell stage. Like so many flying. Like I think pretty much every enemy in this one is flying except for like the max that you just kill instantly anyway. A lot of dodging, a lot of reaction, reacting to stuff that's coming at you is very important. I don't think it's the event's fault, but I'm going to refresh my video feed. I think I'm a bit behind on where you are.
Normally I kill this boss faster, by the way.
Say it again. You're gonna kill him fast. This boss also took quite the soup up in the second loop. You'll see a pattern after the first phase ends that is, I mean, it's ridiculous. It's one of the most like, it might be like one of the hardest. It might be the hardest part in the game. I'm pretty sure it is. There's no easy way to do it. You just have to like learn the timing and also read the pattern at the same time. This one. You can kind of see like the streams in it, but it requires really good timing. And for some reason, if you don't play on like a really low latency setup, it gets like exponentially harder if you can't like read the streams for it. And he just did it, which I think is really impressive. I kind of fumbled, but I want to want to.
But as you can tell, this is the hardest, one of the harder bosses in the game.
I think it's the hardest, to be fair. I think it's like by far the hardest.
I don't even know how to route this stage.
So yeah, I can tell, because you don't want to shoot these enemies because they should really like bullets are just kind of hard to respond. So you just have to like tough it out and not kill any of them. There is, in this game, hilariously, we're gonna see it if by the time Golden clears, there is a massive like end bonus for the amount of life that you have at the end and the amount of bombs, sorry, not bullets, like bombs that you have by the end. I'm really kind of like struggling to remember the numbers exactly, but I do remember that bombs and lives are worth the same. So if you have a life but 0 bombs, you can kill yourself for an extra 100,000 points. I'm pretty sure, probably more than that. Yeah, we get to see one of the other pillars at least.
Yeah, so it's 100,000 per life, And then yeah, so 100,000 per life and 100,000 per bomb too.
Yeah.
You get a total of 900,000 for bombs, but you also have an additional 700,000 for bomb bonus.
Oh yeah, picking the bombs up when your capacity is already full gives you an immediate 100,000 point. So not using any bombs, not losing any lives is crucial to getting a really good score in this game. Which is why I don't know. I guess it depends on like if you don't struggle with like no bombing games, then this is arguably a pretty easy score game because you can get to like 4 million just by not bombing throughout like the second loop. But I mean, if you're anything like me, that's usually the hard part. Like all the extra scoring tricks are just like easier to learn than learning how to never use any resource or never get hit or never actually bomb again. Especially one as difficult as this one. This pattern, the opening one, is also much harder in the second loop. You kind of have to like move around at the bottom. Usually what they do for this boss in the second loop is that there's an added layer sometimes to the pattern, or it's a lot more frequent, and it just makes some of these really hard. Like the single stream is now like 3 lines, so you have a bit less room to be tapping. It's just stuff like that. And this opening, 2-7, it's crazy. I don't know. You just get hit so easily if you don't cut back quickly enough, or if you're not too close to the turrets, because that makes a big difference as well. Really crazy. Luckily, like the little crystal ice domes that are right here, those do give you some resource back, some lives. I think a bomb too. Maybe just like charge it at one. If you hover over the fire, there's a gem head as well in the middle of that screen right there. Probably one of the easier ones to do, even if you're just playing for survival. It's not out of the way, and I know it's like a kind of a boring section beforehand, so it's also just like something fun to do while you're waiting for the mid-boss to spawn in. I want to say like this mid-boss, it's not that much harder in the second loop, but again, like the little spawns, that, especially in the first phase that it has, can be pretty hard. Because now you don't have a lot of charge for these like stone boys. I want to see how you even do this. Not shooting is also, like I said, a very valid strategy for most of this game.
Oh yeah, because
you can a lot of banners can just be tanked. These guys are really annoying. This one, I try to kill them with like 2 at once here. Ah, this looks fancy. The single save spot from the first loop does not work here anymore. You have to tap at least a little bit, or if you're really crazy like me, you try to go for like a setup where you don't have to dodge at all. You just kill the boss, or you can just kill like the little mid boss right there, like right away. These spawns are quite a bit like harder in the second loop, I want to say. Especially the ones with the bills, I think are. It's one of those ones where they're kind of like deceptively difficult. They don't look like you can just tap them around, but I don't know, the rhythm for it is like a bit weird, and I don't know how to explain it, but it's just like, annoying to dodge these.
Well, that's the end of the game. 10 credits. As you can see, every bomb is worth 200,000, every life is worth 100,000. for some reason, if
It's
you
a lot of extra score.
yeah, for some reason, if you get more than 100 coins chain, the game only displays the last 2 digits, but it still counts that you have like 167, for example, right?
Mm-hmm.
It will still count it, but it will just display like 67 coins max chain. So when you see Superplay videos say they have a max chain of 67, it's probably 167.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. All right, well done on the run though. You got the 1-all, and I think it's just like fun to show off the second loop as well, especially if we have the time to showcase just how crazy the game gets. And you told me you have aspirations of like trying to like do all this game too, right? That's something
Yeah.
you're gonna be working on.
Yeah, maybe by November. It's just haven't had time recently because of work, you know, life obligations, but hopefully by November I can get the 2-all that I've always wanted. Anything else you want to add?
No, not really.
Right.
I really enjoyed watching the run though. So yeah, thanks for running the game, and thanks for inviting me to give commentary for the run.
No, thank you for providing commentary.
No problem.
And thanks viewer for watching. Thanks for the GGs. I'll let the I'll let the stream switch to the next player. Like we have a shmup called Shmup.
I did see that. Yeah.
Okay, thanks for the GGs, guys, and see you on the next one.